Specifically, the reporting around Caitlin Clark's injury, because I feel like it is getting stranger by the day. It has been a month now that Caitlin has been out, and we still don't know when she will be returning to the court, if she will be returning to the court this season.
Okay, something really weird is happening with Caitlin Clark, and after reading thousands of fan reactions, I think we're seeing something pretty messed up. And I mean, thousands. Like, fans are absolutely exploding with anger. Caitlin's been out for an extended period with what they said was just a groin injury, but the story keeps changing and fans are catching every single lie. First day after she got hurt, they said day to day, and then a few weeks later, they said out indefinitely. Then ESPN circled a specific return date. Recently, they listed her as a game time decision, but after practice, her coach basically said, yeah, she hasn't even been practicing. Wait, what? You tell fans someone might play when they haven't even touched a basketball with the team? That's straight up lying. Fans see right through it.
No return to practice. She's been able to get a little bit more in her full court running, with her all of her body weight. It's really building up from doing minimal to then building some endurance to do longer periods of time. She's been able to do a little bit more on the court in terms of how she moves, but not into practice yet.
One fan's response got over 300 likes, saying, "The confusion is on purpose. They're trying to keep tickets and viewership from disappearing." But the anger goes way deeper than just being misled. Fans are sharing heartbreaking personal stories that show the real human cost of this deception. One person wrote, "I'm driving 12 hours and have non-refundable hotel reservations. This trip is my Christmas present." Another said, "It's totally unfair to ticket holders and people who have to travel for hours to try and see Caitlin and her not play. The dishonesty is disgusting." We're talking about real people planning entire trips, taking time off work, spending thousands of dollars, all because they believe what the team tells them, and they're getting scammed. Get this. One fan said they had 6th row seats and couldn't sell them for $20 when Caitlin wasn't playing. $20! Those same seats went for $1,000 when she was healthy.
Yeah, Vanessa, we know that Caitlin Clark has done some full court running over the last week or two, and the update as of Monday is that she was able to add more in that regard and doing that full court running as she works to build her endurance after not doing anything for so long. But she has still not returned to practice. She has still not returned to any sort of team activity.
Another fan shared, "I had an extra pair of tickets to Commissioner's Cup final, 6th row. Could not sell them for $20 each because she was not playing." But fans are also revealing something that shows just how devastating this is becoming. People are sharing ticket sale stories that paint a picture of complete collapse. The damage goes even deeper. One fan wrote, "Without Caitlin, every team will go back to playing tiny half-full venues, and to watch any team play, you'll again have to buy the WNBA League Pass, as it won't be on regular ESPN, NBC, ABC, Prime, etc." That's the brutal truth nobody wants to face. Caitlin didn't just bring fans to Indiana, she brought eyeballs to the entire league.
The first thing that I wanted to bring up is a comment that Scott Agnes made on his YouTube channel. Scott Agnes was replying to someone else's comment who said, "Just can't wait until Cece is back. She's the most dynamic, electric player in the WNBA. Great job, Lexi." And then Scott Agnes replied and he said, "Have patience, at least several more weeks."
TV deals, sponsorship money, national attention, all of it traces back to her impact. By lying about her status, they're not just cheating individual fans, they're slowly killing the momentum that could have saved women's basketball. And fans know it. People everywhere are connecting these dots, realizing they're watching the slow motion destruction of everything that got them excited about the sport in the first place. But here's where this gets really scary. The team's beat reporter, Scott Agnes, posted on YouTube that Caitlin needs at least several more weeks to come back. Several more weeks. With limited time left in the regular season, that basically means she's done for the year. And fans who've actually had groin injuries are speaking up. One person wrote, "A groin injury always takes more than 3 weeks to heal. They rushed her back and it got worse." Another shared, "Mine took many months and never was 100% afterwards." Hold up. We're talking about a 23-year-old who is supposed to save women's basketball. and they might have ruined her career by rushing her back too soon.
I'm Caitlin Clark, and if the league doesn't remove those incompetent referees, I will not return to the WNBA. To be honest, I never thought I'd have to say something like this in public, but I can no longer stay silent. The WNBA is supposed to be a place built on competition, a stage where we showcase our basketball skills and fighting spirit.
Fans are connecting scary dots. This isn't her first injury this season. She's had quad problems, then groin problems bouncing from side to side. One fan said, "She's had soft tissue injuries that have just jumped back and forth, and I don't think she's been fully healthy in any game this season." She even missed preseason games because of an injury she came into the season with. That's not bad luck, that's bad management from day one. Here's what's really making fans mad. One person broke down the timeline. Mild strains take 2-3 weeks, moderate strains take 3 to 6 weeks, severe strains can take several months. We're weeks into this injury and they're saying several more weeks. That sounds like something way more serious than they admitted.
No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just kind of to follow up on that, looked like she was kind of grabbing at her right groin area. Is that the concern?
Yeah, if that's the one she was grabbing at, I don't know which one it was, but yeah, I mean, that's it.
And fans remember the last time she came back from injury, she only had one full-speed practice before they threw her back into games. One practice, then she got hurt again within a few games. But here's what's really eating at fans. Yeah, multiple people are saying things like, "I wonder why she's consulted with NY doctors," and "I'm glad Caitlin is getting unbiased outside medical care." Wait, she's getting second opinions from doctors outside the team? That tells you everything about whether she trusts the people who are supposed to be taking care of her. If this is making you as mad as it's making me, hit that subscribe button because we're not letting this slide. If the injury stuff wasn't bad enough, there's something even worse happening that's breaking fans' hearts. And this one hits different because it's about destroying what made millions of people fall in love with women's basketball in the first place.
After the game, I had some pain and then, got an MRI, and that kind of gave me the result that I didn't want to see, but, those type of things don't lie, so yeah. I think the medical team has done a really good job of, doing my rehab every single day, staying in a routine. Yeah, I'll be reevaluated this weekend, so I'll miss this weekend's game, but...
Caitlin did an interview with Sue Bird where she talked about her coach, Stephanie White. She told this story about a game where she was playing great, had like 9 or 10 assists, but still then made a couple turnovers. Coach White pulled her out and said it was a teaching moment about taking unnecessary risks. Later in the game, Kelsey Mitchell was wide open down the court. Caitlin could have made that pass with her eyes closed, but instead she held back and just dribbled it out. Caitlin said afterwards she told her coach, "You don't know how hard it was for me not to make that pass." Fans went absolutely crazy. Someone said that would have changed the whole game. That pass was wide open and that's what Caitlin does best. But here's what's really disturbing about this story. They're watching the systematic destruction of what made Caitlin Clark special. The real problem? She's being turned from the most exciting player in women's basketball into just another boring point guard. What made Caitlin special in the first place? Those crazy long threes from the logo, those no-look passes that made highlight reels, the way she played with total freedom and made the game fun to watch, that fearless style that brought casual fans to women's basketball for the first time. The comparison to Steph Curry is perfect. Someone wrote, "Before Steph, shooting threes from as far back as he was shooting was considered a bad shot. You were coached to not take those until Steph Curry started doing it and making them at a high clip and got the fans involved." They added, "This new style of basketball came because of Caitlin Clark, and it came from allowing Caitlin Clark to do the things that make her Caitlin. Now, her coach is telling her to play it safe, to be conservative, to basically stop doing the things that made millions of people fall in love with her game. The magic is getting coached out of her in real time." Something one fan said really hit me. "I would just hate more than it would be so disappointing to see the things that make Caitlin be coached out of her to become just a regular great basketball player."
There was one other reply where he was replying to someone and basically said, like, "You have to trust me or just trust me." It's up to viewers' discretion. It's up to the fans if they want to believe what he's saying, but several more weeks pretty much puts Caitlin Clark to coming back at the very end of the regular season.
Another fan put it bluntly, White is trying to shape the player to her playbook rather than shaping the playbook to fit the skill of the player. Fans are also connecting this to a pattern they've seen before. Multiple people mentioned that Coach White had similar problems at Vanderbilt, where players reportedly transferred out because of her controlling style. One fan wrote, "No wonder everybody at Vanderbilt left when she was the head coach." Picture how backwards this is. You have a generational talent bringing unprecedented attention to your sport, and instead of building around what makes her special, you're forcing her into your boring system. Someone made a perfect comparison. Imagine benching Babe Ruth because he struck out twice during a game and telling him to become a singles hitter. Exactly, they're asking a home run hitter to bunt. This isn't about making her better, it's about making her ordinary. And ordinary doesn't sell tickets or get people excited about women's basketball. Fans know that if you take away what makes Caitlin special, you lose everything that brought them to the sport in the first place. So here's the scary question everyone's thinking, what if this is it? What if we never see the real Caitlin Clark again? There's contract talks happening and fans are speculating there might be a strike. Someone predicted she might not play until 2027 if there's a lockout. Picture that timeline. Caitlin gets hurt, sits out this season, then maybe doesn't play for another year or two because of contract fights. By the time she's back, will she still be the same player? Even worse, fans are talking about her just leaving.
Yeah, and I think with her being out for so long at this point, you also have to expect that the ramp-up period for her to get back on the court is going to take longer as well. And so for the Fever, there's been 11 games that Caitlin Clark has missed since that July 15th injury. They have 11 regular season games left before the playoffs, so some time, but not a ton of time to get her back incorporated, and they've stayed consistent.
The comments are full of people saying Caitlin should demand a trade or go play in Europe. A fan claimed, "Europe pays better, they'd protect her, and she could play her style without people trying to hurt her." What's really telling? Fans are actually encouraging her to leave. Someone said, CC needs to do what's best for her. If she's still weeks away, just shut her down for the season. Picture what that means. People who got into women's basketball specifically because of Caitlin Clark are telling her to leave women's basketball. That's how badly the WNBA has screwed this up. People are already walking away. Someone wrote, "I'm out until they announce her return." Another said, "After tonight's game, my appetite to watch them is waning." Here's the part that shows how bad this is getting. People are starting to root against the teams in the league. Someone said, "I wish she will announce not coming back and sink this league. Goodbye attendance, merch sales, TV contracts." That's not just frustration. That's people actively wanting the whole system to fail because of how it's treated the player they care about. And it might actually happen. Multiple fans pointed out that without Caitlin, TV ratings drop across the entire league. Someone observed, "Ratings do not only drop for Fever games, but also for everyone in the league. People just not that interested without CC." The passion in what fans are saying shows this fan base isn't going anywhere. They care about good basketball and they'll follow it wherever it goes. So what do we need to do? Keep demanding the truth from the WNBA. Support players who play exciting basketball. And when Caitlin does come back, wherever that is, support the style that made her special. We also need to be honest about what we're seeing. This isn't just about one player being injured. This is about a system that seems more interested in controlling its biggest star than protecting her. A fan said it perfectly. If they announce CC is out for the season, viewership tanks league-wide. The obfuscation is intentional. They know. They know that without Caitlin Clark, nobody cares. But instead of protecting their biggest asset, they're playing games with her health and lying to fans. If you agree, if you think we deserve better than this, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think Caitlin should do. Should she sit out the rest of the year? Should she ask for a trade? Should she take her talents to Europe? Or should she demand that the WNBA get serious about protecting its players? What's happening now isn't working for anyone except the people counting money, and that's not what sports should be about. The fans have spoken. They want honesty, they want their favorite player protected, and they want to see the basketball that got them excited in the first place. Now let's see if anyone with actual power is listening, because if they're not, this fan base is ready to follow Caitlin Clark wherever she goes next, and that might not be the WNBA.